Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, and right now I'm down in Clearwater, Florida, hanging out at the Critical Bench compound with Coach Chris from Critical Bench. And today we're going to discuss pre- and post-workout nutrition specifically for men over 40 who want to build muscle, lose the gut, and get back in shape. Okay, so this is a common question that I get asked. You know, a lot of people saying, what should you eat before you work out? What should you eat after you work out? Should you take anything during your workout? And there are some specific things that I do recommend, and there's some specific things that I don't do anymore. And I'll give you some examples. I mean, first off, if you're a guy over 40 who's probably not in the best shape physically, you know, you're trying to build some muscle, lose that gut, and get yourself back in shape, you really don't need to fuel your workouts. You have enough fuel right here, right, to fuel that workout. You don't need to be putting anything in your system in terms of, like, you know, carbohydrates and sports drinks and all that. You know, you see guys like chugging down these Gatorades and Powerades and whatever aids.
Pre-workout sugar and chemicals.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're loading up with sugar before your workout, that's actually blunting your body's ability to tap into burning your stored body fat. So personally, I don't have any caloric intake before my workouts. What I will have is a cup of coffee. I like that caffeine pick-me-up, and I find that the coffee is almost like a natural pre-workout.
Yes.
You know, it gives you that energy boost, helps to curb your appetite, and also helps to aid with fat burning. So it's a great thing to have before a workout, just a regular cup of black coffee. Another thing that I have, Chris, and this is something that a lot of people probably don't do, but it's critical, is electrolytes. So sodium, potassium, magnesium, these three things, what I often do, it's kind of a bit, you know, crude, but I will get some like sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, any type of salt, really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I'll pour like a quarter teaspoon of salt on a teaspoon, like shake it out, just put it in my mouth, chase it down with water. I'll also do the same with potassium, and what I use for potassium is cream of tartar.
Yes, I've heard this.
Cream of tartar. You can get it in the baking section at any grocery store or place like that, but it's basically pure potassium. So I'll do the same thing, shake out a quarter teaspoon of cream of tartar, chase it down with water. It doesn't taste pleasant, but you're not doing this for the taste, right? And I'll also have a magnesium tablet, like you can buy the magnesium supplements. Any supplement store will carry them, you know, at the drugstore as well, and I'll have that. So sodium, magnesium, potassium, you got that in your system before you go to the gym. That's going to help to prevent muscle cramps, and it'll actually give you a better muscle contraction while you're training. And I mean, if you're sweating a lot, like here we are in Florida, it's hot. I'm from up north in Canada, so I mean, it's not as hot right now. We're freezing our ass off, right? But I mean, down here I'm sweating a lot more, so I make sure to consume that sodium and potassium.
And you notice too, when you sweat down here, and I've noticed it just in the last few days, when I sweat, I leave white marks on my shirt.
I do too.
What do you think that is?
That's salt, and I mean, that's basically your electrolytes
coming out of your skin. So
Yes.
That's why you want to put that stuff back in your system with water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think that sodium and salt is bad. It's a very misunderstood topic.
Yes.
I mean, if you're sedentary, you're not drinking a lot of water, like you think of a senior citizen, right? They're not exercising, they're not drinking a lot of water. If they were to consume a high sodium diet, their body has no way to get rid of it.
Correct.
If you're active, you're sweating, you're drinking water, your body's going to use what it needs and then flush out the rest, whether it's flushing out through your skin in the way of sweat, or you'll flush it out in the toilet when you go to pee if you're drinking a lot of water. So I'd rather err on the side of more electrolytes in terms of sodium, potassium, and stuff like that, rather than trying to cut it out like a lot of people do.
What's your take on branched chain amino acids?
BCAAs. This is kind of a two-sided coin. If you're a hard training athlete, I think BCAAs or EAAs, essential amino acids, can be helpful. You know, you can take it during your workout or before your workout, and that will help to prevent muscle breakdown. It'll help to actually spare glycogen so that you can train harder, train longer. So from a hard training athlete, hard training bodybuilder, powerlifter, it can be beneficial. For the average Joe, you really don't need it. I mean, if you're getting adequate protein from your diet, you know, that 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight, you know, I know it's old as dirt, that recommendation, but it's a darn good one. I mean, there's a reason that recommendation has stood the test of time, because it actually works, right? If you're eating that much protein, you really don't need BCAAs or EAAs, essential amino acids, during your workout. It's not going to hurt, but, you know, it's an optional. I personally don't take it myself.
Yeah, a well-rounded diet. I'm hit or miss with that stuff. Sometimes I see it in the cabinet and I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll take some today.
Right.
But honestly, if you have a well-rounded diet and you're eating your lean meats and you're eating, you know, healthy fats, and you're getting in good complex carbohydrates and some fruits and vegetables and
well-balanced diet.
I mean, then you're good to go. And really, it just comes down to water consumption and getting proper rest. I mean, these are the things that are really building your body, right? Yeah, the training's important, but you know, the repair and the anabolic portion of your days is best spent in bed.
Right.
so that's where you're growing. That's
when you're sleeping in the night
while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
so
for
focus
sure.
your efforts there. So that's your post-workout.
Right.
Get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Well, let's just talk about post-workout. I mean, this is one thing, I mean, you can relate to this. Back in the day when we were reading the muscle magazines, it was always about this post-workout window, right? You had you had to have a protein shake with 33.3 grams of protein and whatever it was, 66 grams of carbohydrates. Everything precisely, whatever. I can't remember the numbers. I'm just shooting this off. But you had to have this precise post-workout shake within 30 minutes of your workout, or that workout was garbage and you're not going to make any gains. And man, it's a crock of BS, right? I mean, I'm not saying that there's no point to post-workout nutrition. If you're a hard training athlete, if you're training multiple times a day or something like that, maybe, you know, if you're doing twice a day, like you say, post-workout nutrition can help. But if you're working out 3 times a week, it makes no difference, because your meals that you have in between those 3 workouts a week are going to more than fuel your workouts and help to recover. So again, it depends on the situation, and that's why I'm gearing this towards men over 40 who are probably not training twice a day, 6 days a week. You're maybe, you know, you're lucky to get 3 days in there. So post-workout nutrition, it's overrated.
Get your 3 squares, get good sleep, hydrate well, and don't worry so much about, like, I gotta eat now, I gotta eat it. Just eat cleanly, cut the crap and the processed foods out, you know?
Right.
That's my take.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, all I do is after a workout, I literally wait till my next meal. And that's when I'll have my post-workout nutrition, is whatever my next meal is. And that's actually beneficial from a fat burning point of view, because in that hour or so after the workout, your metabolism's jacked up, your hormones are jacked up, so you're actually burning more body fat. If you don't put anything in, what do you have to tap into? That stored body fat for energy. So it's actually a good fat burning strategy as well.
Absolutely.